Let's rewind a couple centuries, as our next stop is going to take us all the way back to 1833, and to a time when Cynthia Ann Parker, the would-be mother of famed Comanche chief Quanah Parker, was kidnapped from this frontier fort. This is like stepping back in time. How tall the walls are with the spikes on top of them tells you how dangerous it was
12
to
feet.
live here.
Yes.
This is Connie Colon, caretaker and director of Old Fort Parker Historic Site. This is what I imagine, John Smith, Pocahontas. I don't think of this in Texas, but it was.
It was. They lived in cabins similar to this. This is as close as we can get to period correct.
How many people would have lived in a house like this?
Would have been a mother, a father, and usually at least 2 or 3 children.
Oh my gosh, a whole family.
They made use of every available space. They hung their chairs on the wall when they weren't using their chairs. Their mattresses were hand-sewn, straw mattresses.
It's that new technology. Hey, can I test this out?
Sure.
Do I need to dial in my number on an app? Is that how this works? Oh! You wrestle in the night, you're gonna go all the way off onto the ground. You feel so spoiled in our era when you step back in a cabin like this.
Yeah. I have something special I want to show you. Flintlock rifle.
From the 1800s.
Yes.
This is incredible to hold something in my hand that's that old. The people would have been running around here, sticking out of these little holes in the walls to, fend for their lives. We have to defend the fort. There's women and children in here. You'd be good at this, Chet. We're gonna try that again. We have to defend the fort. There's women and children in here. Man, I'm a bad shot already. I'd be extra bad through one of these tiny windows. I don't think there was a job for TV hosts on the frontier.
So the main gate is wide enough and tall enough for covered wagons and things like that to come through. This was referred to as the spring gate, and they intentionally made it low so that horseback riders couldn't ride through on horseback.
Oh, that's interesting.
They found this spring, and it has fresh water coming out of the ground 365 days a year, even in drought years.
One of God's water faucets right in your backyard.
My grandsons asked one time when they were here, "Nene, where's the bathroom?" So I brought them out here. This is where you would take a bath, and they're like, "What about when it's cold?"
Yeah. We call that stinky season. We don't bathe. This fort comes alive numerous times a year with living history reenactors sharing the story of Texas. But few stories in our state are more important or more stirring than the kidnapping of Cynthia Ann Parker.
This is the blockhouse, kind of like a lookout tower.
Okay.
And they could shoot from the gun turrets up there. There was one on each corner.
Take us back to that day.
May 19th, 1836. Most of the men were out in the fields working. One of the Parker brothers saw approaching Native Americans, and one of them was carrying a white flag.
One account from that day says that at one moment the fields were clear, and at the next there were, quote, more Indians than I dreamed possible. The white settlers inside the fort were highly suspect, yet they opened the gate, as many of the women and children escaped into the woods through the spring gate. Well, soon the war band attacked, killing all 5 men present and taking 2 women and 3 children hostage, one of which was Cynthia Ann Parker. And so Cynthia Ann, at 9 years old, but
Yes.
she's assimilates into them, right?
She was adopted into a family. She was raised as a Comanche child and grew up essentially a Comanche, even though she was white.
This was not the story for most Comanche prisoners, but it was for Cynthia. She married War Chief Pettinacona and even gave birth to the man known as the last great Comanche chief, Quanah Parker.
She would even put buffalo grease in her hair to darken it so that people couldn't tell from a distance that she was white.
In 1860, after living with the Comanche for 24 years, Cynthia was captured back into white culture by a group of Texas Rangers as her Comanche family was killed in battle.
She really wanted to be with her Comanche family. She lost her family as a child, her white family, and then she lost her Comanche family as an adult.
Wow. Her story is tragic, yet so unique it inspired the John Wayne classic The Searchers and the film Dances with Wolves. This era's history is so complex, but it's something that we should all learn about, and more importantly, learn from, right here at Old Fort Parker State Park. To see the full episode or to get info about how to visit this spot, trip on over to thedaytripper.com.